Hey!
Oh, that's creepy.
Now what?
Wow.
Floating head.
That's very cheerful.
Well, I thought I always wanted to just be a floating head, so I put on a green shirt. Well, it's my Christmas shirt, but it's inside out. So, yeah, I'm getting sick from just seeing it. I realized it was a dumb idea.
You are probably tripping out so many people right now.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing I wore a different shirt underneath. And the weird thing is, the dumb thing is, you were talking about people doing stupid things. Earlier on, when I got the idea, it was just like 5 minutes before the show. And I ran upstairs to go get the shirt, and I tried to put it on over my hat, and I forgot to take my hat off. What a stupid maneuver!
It's not something that I haven't done.
So you just came off of your show. How was Willow's Pillow Talk?
Yeah, it was fun. Great group of people. I met all of them through this broadcasting thing, and we've been chatting almost every day since probably April.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, in this time, it's good to make new friends, and it's very important to make new friends. The other thing is, we should let people know you are co-hosting for me today because John is still not quite ready to be on the air. He is home though, and we're glad to say that he's home, and we hope that he makes a partial recovery.
I really hope that he's doing okay.
He is. John is doing well, and he's strong, and but it's an ordeal to have somebody go through your innards, and it makes you tired. My father is the president of the Zipper Club. We call that for anybody who's had surgery from here to here. And literally, I think they put in Velcro so they can open them up. We'll be talking to my father later on.
Okay, good.
And as normal, my mother will probably pop in sometime and probably have something to eat with her.
I was just going to say, I know she usually has something to eat with her.
Yeah.
So
but we have an interesting show tonight. We have Marty Marcus. He's a real estate agent. We're going to talk about the current state of affairs in the real estate here in Winnipeg. It is a seller's market right now, and we'll learn what that means and what that means to you. And then later on, we have Harlequin, or at least most of the members of Harlequin. Some of them are possibly not available due to the fact that they are. Carl's hanging around still. He was on your show earlier.
Yes, he was.
He was an interesting individual. Some of them are, out where there's, or at least one of them is out where there's no internet, so makes it difficult for him to be virtual when there's no there's internet. So let's bring on our first guest.
Excellent. Okay.
Marty. Hang on, where's that? Hang on, where did I put it? There it is. Hang on. Where did I put it? There it is. Marty Marquez, Century 21 Realtor. Really nice guy. Got to talking to him the other day, and very pleasant. Didn't call me names or anything like that. Hi, Marty.
Hey, Mark. How are you doing? Hi,
Doing
Willow.
great.
Hello.
So, welcome to Now What? Actually, I always say it wrong. It's not just now what. It's now what? John would say it like that, and so I have to say it like that since he's not here to say it for me.
Well, thank you very much. Honestly, it's when you called me with this idea, I thought it was a great idea, and like you said, we spoke briefly, and I think we kind of hit it off. I just think that any time that you can provide information to fellow Winnipeggers and help them out, hey, why not? And I think you have a cool little show here. Yeah.
Now I'm going to make your picture big for a second so you can see something that I'm seeing. Now, is this on purpose? You kind of got this halo effect going around your head to make you look like an angel.
No, you know,
It's the light.
No, don't take it away. It adds to your credibility. I think that halo adds to your credibility.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to block it out as much as I can. Sorry about that.
No, I just thought it was like great. You know, it's like angelic.
Wow.
All you need are wings.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? There's some days I could use some wings, but yeah, and some days our occupation could use some angelic an angelic push.
Yeah, and of course, well, COVID hit a lot of us super hard. Some industries have been completely shut down. For example, I'm a wedding entertainer. My co-host, he's a keynote speaker. He's a international class comedian. He does voiceovers for cartoons and stuff. Now, his industry and my industry, gone. Nowhere to play. No one to play to. Doing it online is almost impossible because you don't have that feedback. Retail, we saw what happened with retail, especially with the huge close down, the non-essential goods and everything else. How has it hit the real estate agency?
Well, you know what? Honestly, when we first learned about this back in February, March of last year, 2020, like nobody really knew what was going to happen. It was kind of new to everybody. But the initial thought was, okay, well, this is going to really hit the industry bad. And as the spring market started picking up, like you just started seeing it for us, for the real estate industry. It didn't change. Like Winnipeg's market, the spring market is always kind of where everybody starts thinking about listing their houses. Everybody starts looking for houses, and the main reason for that is because if families are moving from different catchment areas for kids in schools, that they want to plan it that their child finishes school in one area so that they could register them to another area. Anyways, so spring market came along, and it was consistent to what the past few years have been, and we had to do some adjusting like everybody else. The biggest thing that I found in speaking with colleagues is the people that were starting to look and sell their homes and make phone calls and inquiring with us during the COVID, they were the serious buyers. You no longer had the people that were, just bored on a Sunday wanting to go look at a house. And then once our industry mandated that we were no longer having open houses, then you only had serious buyers and serious sellers.
Kind of pre-qualified the customer for you.
Yeah, and every month was, as every month went by, it was getting busier and busier and busier. And interest rates are historically low, and I realize that that's helping. But interest rates were low last year and the year before, so it's not like they were 10% and now they're 1 3/4. They've been fairly consistent. So you start asking people, well, why are you looking during COVID, and why are you thinking about moving? Because I would have thought it was going to be completely the opposite. What people would just shut down, the market would just stop or really slow down unless it was somebody moving in or job transfers.
Yeah.
But I think what I started finding was that as people realize that they're going to be cooped up in their house a little bit more, they're not going to be, your travel dollar wasn't going to be spent this year. Yeah. And I think people just started making decisions that, well, if I'm going to be stuck at home, either I'm going to fix up my house, maybe to sell it and then eventually get something bigger, or if I was thinking about moving 2 or 3 years down the road, well, maybe this is the year to do it, because you know what? I'm going to have time on my hands. So it's been a incredibly busy year, not just for me personally, but almost every agent I talk to, they've had better years than they've done previous
Oh,
years.
wow.
And
Yeah, we've broken records this year on house sales in Manitoba, which is quite amazing, quite frankly, considering the state of affairs here. But like you say, we're not going anywhere. People are either renovating, fixing up, or buying new, which seems to be where the money's going.
yeah, it is. And what I'm also finding is, you indicated it right off the bat, it is a seller's market.
What does that mean to the person looking? Say, especially for the new homeowner, somebody who's been renting all their lives, saying, "Hey, it's time we move. We get our own thing." What does that mean to them?
Well, unfortunately, for the first time home buyer, or somebody that's just getting into the buyer's market, first of all, that's typically the biggest percentage of people that are looking in a certain price point. Most entry level price points are going to be, that 200 to 325. We're talking about now the first time home buyers. So there's a lot of competition. Instead of 10 people looking in one neighborhood, there might be 50 people now looking. So anytime that there's low supply, high demand, that drives up prices. So people somebody that has a nice home in a decent neighborhood that's in good shape, they're going to get top dollar for it. But again, that's all relative, right? Because the one thing about Winnipeg is we had a boom about 8-10 years ago where prices were fairly flat, and then it spiked. I think it spiked just to catch up with the rest of the country. But now the prices are going up, but Winnipeg is a very consistent market. So whether you buy now or you think, okay, I'm going to wait 2 years, all it's going to do is it's going to be relative. Prices are going to continue going up. What I I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and what I tell everybody, or every client, don't lose your mind and overpay for a house. There'll always be another house, but you're going to have to be prepared to pay. Most houses now are going for asking price or a little bit above asking price. So, the perfect storm right now is if you're selling a house and moving into a condo, because you're going to get top dollar for your house. And condos are a little bit flatter just because the market's so saturated with them. So
yeah.
But yeah, Winnipeg is still. My brother lives in Victoria. I have friends in Toronto. Calgary. Winnipeg still is, as much as we complain about our cold little city in the prairies, it's still one of the most affordable cities to live in.
Absolutely.
And, a house that you buy here for $400,000, you might not even find in Toronto or Vancouver or Victoria.
You're paying $1 million for them there.
Exactly. So, and I don't think our salaries are 25% less than those.
No, definitely not. When I lived in Vancouver, there was a house beside us. It was about a $350,000 home. This is back in 92, 93, 94-ish.
Mm-hmm.
They were tearing them down and putting up $750,000 homes.
Yeah,
destroying. They're stripping. There's no grass left. The house is almost as big as the entire lot.
Yeah, that is starting to happen in some neighborhoods in Winnipeg. The River Heights of the world, the Wolsleys, where people, desirable areas that are, they're still affordable, but they're central. I think, in Winnipeg, there's always going to be the suburbia crowd that wants to be in the outskirts.
Yep.
But there's a lot more people that are realizing that, I can have a nice house 5 minutes away from the Forks or or down or Polo Park. So we are starting to see that happen in River Heights and in the Wolseley.
Yeah.
And and it's nice to see. There's a lot of neighborhoods that were run down before that. People are spending some money, and that's all it takes for a bad neighborhood to turn into a good neighborhood is people moving in and taking care of their property. So
kind of taking it back.
Yeah. So
I'm finding that there's an influx of families moving in. Like I live in the South Osborne area, and a lot of the elderly are going into homes, and a lot more families are moving in, and which is nice. Like neighbors keep to themselves for the most part, but it's nice to see the actual community come together and actually become a community.
For sure, and again, not that I'm happy that COVID is here, but like one of the really positive things, if there could be a positive thing about COVID, is you actually see people now outdoors and walking. Like I live in Crescentwood, and it's I see people walking along Corridon in the middle of winter. I see people using the Forks Assiniboine River skating trail all the time. Like I said, if anything positive came about this, is I think Winnipeggers and Manitobans started maybe seeing some of the really cool things in our province. Like even I went to some parks that I had never been to, and I've lived here for 57 years.
Yeah.
So it hasn't all been negative.
Is there a lighter side to real estate?
I'm sorry, is there a what?
Is there a lighter side? Strange things that happen, funny things that happen when you're selling a home, buying a home, showing a home?
Well, there's 1,000 stories in the naked city.
He said naked.
You know what? For the most part, when people are looking for the house and a house is going to be typically their biggest asset and their biggest purchase. And most people take it seriously. I try to lighten it up because at the end of the day, you have to have fun with things. I don't know. The one thing that's been in our industry, I think some of the stuffiness has gotten out of it. There's a lot of young agents, a lot of young people looking for places. I'm sure something will come to mind, but right now I can't think of anything hilarious.
You've got almost as a boring industry as an accountant.
Well, it can be, but it's funny. Like you'll take the thing that I love about it is you'll take a client, a 24-year-old young couple that will know zero about a house, and I'll always give them the preamble that for me, I don't care if we look at 10, 20, 30 houses, just get the right house for you. Whatever. And it's just really cool seeing how somebody goes from having no idea about the process, and they're at about their 6th or 7th house, and you're just standing back, you're letting them look through, and they're pointing out, okay, well, this room looks a little bit small. It's an odd thing. They're pointing out stuff, and I get a lot of good feelings and personal satisfaction from seeing that somebody's really evolved. So that's pretty cool. It can be boring, but you know what? It's like everybody remembers the first house that they buy, and it's usually I don't know. I think it's pretty exciting and pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love it. This is a second career for me, and I'm having a ball.
Do you prefer to kind of restore older houses to like their original form, or do you like to upgrade them to more modern style?
Are you asking me personally or just generally?
Just generally.
You know what? Sadly, I would say a bigger percentage of people, like peeling off the wood and putting on the white MDF everybody wants the white baseboards, the white paint, the gray walls, but there are still some people. Like I had a young couple and just old souls. Like she was 22 and he was 23, and they just wanted character. First time home buyers, and they said to me, "Don't send me anything modern." So there is still a niche, of people, and different age groups and so on that still do like character. And there is nothing cooler than walking into, a house that's 120 years old, that's in decent shape, and you see 10-inch high oak baseboards, and you see. Well, exactly. It's just you just look back and you just don't see workmanship like that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Like anybody could make. There's a million cookie cutter, houses with and not that there's anything wrong with it, but there's still a lot to be said about having something unique and that your neighbor won't have.
So what advice? What one piece of advice? If you could give one piece of advice, somebody looking for a home right now during these COVID times, what would it be?
Be completely prepared to make the purchase of the house that you like. Now, I know that sounds very vague, but there's so many times that you'll get a client and they're not pre-approved for financing. And like I've seen people that can easily afford a house lose out on a house because they're not pre-approved, because they know that they can afford about $300,000, but they don't know that exact number, and so they're just not prepared. So the biggest thing is be prepared. Know that if there's a house there that's for you, that's in your price point, that you can with 100% certainty make an offer, and it doesn't have to have a bunch of conditions, because in a situation sometimes where there's 4 or 5 offers, the vendor will always take the path of least resistance, right?
Yeah, take the easiest one out.
Exactly. And sometimes it's even for more money. Like sometimes you'll see offers where the client's offered $5,000 more than the ultimate person who gets the house, but they had a financing condition. So the biggest thing is do your homework and be prepared, because sometimes the house that you love,
little things can screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wonderful. And the other piece of advice is, like I said earlier on, don't lose your mind, because with I'm batting 1,000 on this. You'll get even an existing somebody that's owned 4 or 5 houses and the new homeowner, they'll lose out on a house that they put an offer in.
Yeah.
But inevitably, whatever house they end up with, they'll always come back to me and say, "Man, I'm glad I didn't get that other house, because this is actually the right house.
This is the one." Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, don't lose your mind if you don't get the house. If you get it, great. If not, there's another house.
What's the easiest way for people to get a hold of you? I've got your website up there.
My website. I'm on Facebook. I have a couple of Facebook pages, on Instagram, and you know what? What you see here is what you get. I rarely, if ever, wear a tie. I don't think the way I'm dressed makes the house any better or any worse. You're not going to get any BS from me. If a client of mine is looking at a house and I think it's crap, I will tell them. I'd rather, at the end of the day, I'd rather sell them a good house and have them come back to me or refer me than them, be annoyed that I sold them something just to get a sale. So my website, my phone number,
Facebook. Yeah,
Facebook, Instagram. I'm sure you'll throw my phone number up there, but it's I'm all over the internet, and again, there's 1,000 of us. Most of the agents are pretty good, solid people. So yeah, whoever you end up working with, just make sure that you get along. It's a two-way street, and it's not, for me anyways. It's the people that I end up selling houses to that I have never met from anywhere. We usually end up being friends. Where we're texting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I've picked up 3 or 4 clients lately just from Facebook, just from my shenanigans and my silly memes on Facebook. So yeah, and the biggest thing is have fun with it. Like it's something serious and important, and you're going to spend a lot of money, but
yeah,
it should be fun. Like don't ever feel pressured into buying something, or somebody telling you, oh yeah, you should buy this. It has to, listen to your gut.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on with us. I hope you'll be on with us again.
You know what, Mark? Honestly, this was so cool. I love what you guys are doing. You only heaped a little bit of abuse on me with the halo, so that's cool.
No, I think that's so cool.
No,
look at you look like an angel.
Yeah, well, some days I could use all the help that's out there. So no, I think that this is fantastic, and you guys are great. I had a ball.
Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
see you again.
Yeah, for sure. Take care.
Nice meeting you.
He's so much fun. I mean, who knew that real estate agents could be so much fun?
You know what? On occasion, we'll get them in my store at Starbucks, and I love chatting with them and finding out what they do and how they're keeping themselves busy and all that. So it's.
Yeah. So, I guess we should show people our studio audience today. Here's our studio audience.
Oh man, I'm having a kick with those.
We were going to dress up John like that, but it didn't quite happen. So before we get on to our next guests, just recently I bought a brand new bed mattress. Well, not a mattress, but a 4-inch gel, mattress topper.
Oh, right. Okay.
And a frame. So this week's 22 Minutes with Gopher is the hour that it took to put the frame together, the mattress on it, and then watch the foam expand. Thankfully, Montana came in and helped me put it together. So here's 22 Minutes with Gopher. You'll notice that it's the same music from my extro. And there it expands. That there took 45 minutes to expand.
Oh, wow. Where'd you guys pick this up?
I bought it on Amazon.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
So, how old are you, Willow?
38.
38. Wow. I've got a lot of years on you, my dear. But you and I have been friends for a long, long time.
We've been friends for
10 years almost.
At least a little over 10 years anyway.
Almost 20. When was the first time you were at con?
Yeah, well, no, it's been almost almost 15
20 years. Because when game night started. So, but I've still got a lot of years on you. And because of that, I know rock bands from back when they were still making new music. I was DJing rock bands when they were making new music. I've been DJing. This year is 39 years.
Oh, wow.
This April is 39 years. And one of my favorite bands of the era and my favorite band from Winnipeg.
I'm getting a kick out of this. Like, I'm excited.
And guess who we've got with us today?
There's George.
Hey,
I miss you guys.
How are you guys tonight?
How long has it been since you've seen each other?
I see them right now.
It's been a long time.
Christmas. It was a long. Music longer.
Okay, George, I need you to get closer to your mic.
I'm right here. You can't hear me?
You're very, very faint.
Yeah, you're very, very faint. Yeah, but
Let's see.
How's this coming down?
There you go.
Yeah, you sound great.
Well,
Who knew? Mark, so you've been DJing forever.
I have been, yeah.
Right on.
It's all I ever wanted to do with my life ever since I was 5 years old.
my phone, so it's my phone. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you
You got
a little bit.
you got.
Do you have headset?
Me?
Yeah, you. Do you have a headset?
I thought he was pointing at his teeth. Like, do you have caps or something?
I don't. These are all mine, pal.
When we get together, Mark, it's a tough crowd.
Is it? Yeah, I guess, eh?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I guess, okay, question. For those who don't know, who does what in the band?
I play keyboards and sing local vocals and occasionally play guitar.
Okay. AJ?
Age playing drums a lot. They don't want. They like to know with my stick.
AJ did say he was in an area that had spotty internet tonight.
I am. I'm in a bit of by Lester Beach. We're about Winnipeg spots, and the were lifted. Mom and brought her a lot.
Okay, am I the only one who's hearing this?
No.
We can't hear you at all, man.
AJ, you're one syllable out of every sentence is coming through.
All right.
But you're at the lake.
You're at the lake. About, I think you said 1 hour out of the city.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Correct.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you now.
Yes.
Thank
And
God.
Derek, what do you do with the band?
Mostly play guitar.
Mostly. What else?
Oh, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you.
Well, no, we got him to lift the heavy stuff because he likes to lift weights too.
Oh, you're the
He's the health
forklift.
nut.
And George, we all know what
Yes.
you do.
Well, I'm PT Barnum in this band.
He wears the hat in the band.
Yeah.
So, how many originals are still with the band?
1,
Two.
2.
Two.
Yeah.
Are the other ones still alive, or did you do away with them?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, they still are. Yeah. Oh, well, original bass player is and he's a huge international agent, and the original guitar player Glenn Willows is still doing has a music He's doing he's writing songs, and he's into artist development and that. And the drummer, original drummer, lives about 3 blocks away from here. I could probably hit him with about a 3-wood. We golf a lot. He's probably asleep on the couch thinking he's watching the Jets game.
That's awesome. So, how far back does Harlequin go? When did you start up?
You know when the light
26
bulb
BC.
was invented?
The week before that, right?
Yeah. The 1976, I joined. And
Yeah.
it was Gary was in it, and Ralph and David, and a guy called Leroy Hawk, whose real name is Laurie
Coyle.
Kolinski.
Laurie Coyle. Yeah. He lives down.
I think that was
he
awesome.
lives in BC now.
Who came
Yeah.
up with the name Harlequin?
Oh, I'd like to shoot him.
Joker.
It was a bit. Ralph started in Toronto, and they played like the Holiday Inn circuit, and they called themselves Harlequin. Disbanded. Ralph came here, and started a band with John Hanna, who, if you in the scene. I'm using the scene as because that's one of his songs. Scene. Anyways, he had a band with John, and Gary was in it. Then David, and maybe I'll let Gary tell the story because I wasn't there. Gary?
Ralph and John came back from Toronto, and they were looking for somebody who could play keys and guitar and sing, and a good drummer. And lo and behold, they found me and Dave, who had been playing in a band called Bentwood Rocker, way back. Yeah,
That's very appropriate now.
Yeah, no kidding. Well before electricity. So we started, and John had this idea of writing original songs, and we all bought into it. And we had costume changes and all sorts of stuff. But you know how things go in the music business. People develop in different directions, or people got different ideas how to go where in different places. And we ended up with Laurie Coyle, who was Leroy Hawk, and eventually we developed to the point where Dave, the drummer, didn't really want to sing all night, and so we started looking around for a singer, and
Okay.
and who happened to be on waivers, but George Boulanger. So we flew George into where the hell was it? Kirkland Lake.
Well, I was told by Frank, an agent in Winnipeg, that these guys are looking for a band, and they'll fly you. I was about to take off to Vancouver and then to London, England, with my then Papa White. We had plans to go there and seek our fame and fortune. And then I got this call from Frank Weiner, who said, there's this band, and they're looking for a singer who writes songs as well. So they'll fly you into Toronto and to do an audition. I said, wonderful, because I thought I'll get a free vacation in Toronto. I'll catch up with some old buddies, and then I'll bugger off, go to Vancouver, and fly to England. Well, so some guy met me at the airport. It was a 350-pound Japanese guy, and he said, "Hi, my name is Gaylord." And Eric picked up my bag.
Hey, Lord.
And took me.
Fortune Gate.
Anyways, AJ, you sound funny. Sorry, your mic's not working properly. You've got modulation. So
Can you hear us okay though, AJ?
I think he can hear us.
I claim a little.
Obviously, he's hearing us okay.
Yeah.
Maybe turn off your headbuds and turn them back on.
I'll take them.
Better.
Well, maybe I'll finish the story while he's doing it. I got in the van, and then he drove me to Kirkland Lake. and it was from there. It was a bit of an S show, as they say.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's no. Is there a somebody monitoring this?
No, you can take it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shit show, is what they say.
Oh,
See, later
Well,
on, I will be editing this for Shaw, and I've got a beep for those moments.
Oh, okay. So it was how can I say, an old establishment with, it was the middle of hockey season and hunting season in a small town, and nobody showed up.
1976.
Yeah, yeah. So one guy came walking in. This is a true story. One guy came walking in, and he'd heard some stuff, and he said, you guys sound pretty good. And Ralph looked at him and says, what the, another expletive, what the, do you know? And he said, hi. He says, my name is Ralph Jolivet, and we all knew who he was. He was the biggest agent in Toronto. So things kind of, it's kind of serendipity that we got to meet this hotshot. And, they had played me actually the first song that they'd written. Leroy had a song called Shame, Shame, which we did record in the first album. And I kind of liked it. And the rest, as they say, is history. And I'll pass the baton on to someone else now who wants to talk.
So here's a question. Derek, do you have a favorite song from Harlequin? What's your favorite Harlequin song?
Oh, it changes all the time. I was a fan, obviously, before I got to join the band. I'm always partial to Thinking of You is one of my favorites. Survive is one of my favorites.
From Waking the Jester, perhaps?
Well, it's those are like children, right?
Yeah.
The songs that you had some input into, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's those influence me. So I mean, I love playing them. I love listening to them, and they're fun to play.
Must be an amazing thing to become part of a band that you enjoyed for so long.
It was, yeah. It was a bit of a process, Glenn Willows started asking me to sub in for shows, and just for a while there was both of us in the band. Glenn would have we'd double parts or harmonize parts or whatever, and yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
AJ, do you have a favorite song?
He's not using his microphone.
How
We need an
how's
interpreter.
No, you're not happening, AJ.
Too bad.
Wi-Fi is too sketchy out there at the lake.
Here at the lake.
I see your lips moving, but there's no sound coming out.
Yeah. Quiet!
Is that how, is he like this on stage too?
You're going up there at the lake.
It's okay, AJ. It happens. I'm
This
still
never
a
happened
fan
to
of
me
yours.
before.
The drummer always takes all the crap, doesn't he?
He's nice to look at anyway, so.
When you
Very handsome.
I hear bot, 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 and then nothing.
Headphones.
Move on.
City. I listen to you guys.
Okay, we'll move to Gary. Gary, do you have a favorite song?
Yeah, I like Stairway to Heaven.
I mean that you guys wrote.
Oh, ours. Oh, okay.
Stairway to Heaven.
Thinking of You is, I'm sorry, here's the thing about our stuff, and we're so thrilled and honored, is that the stuff that we made, is it 40 years ago?
Some of it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
some of it's like 40 plus years old, and it still plays really well. You know,
Yeah.
and the fans. Sorry to interrupt, but the fans, they're absolute killer.
Yes, they are.
They're absolute killer. They come out, they're right into it, and you know, I don't know if you remember a song called "Reno" by Bill Henderson.
Reno.
Yeah,
There's a line in there. There's a line in there that says, "If there ain't no audience, there ain't no show."
There ain't no show. Yeah.
And there you go, man.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys miss the hairband, like the big hair, the
Sure do.
I have one right here.
Somebody just said, tell AJ to turn off the video but keep the audio going, and his audio should improve. We won't be able to see him, but we'll be able to hear him.
AJ, stick 2 pens up your nose.
Okay.
well, if we need tech support, we have Carl Winsman in the chat.
George, do you have a favorite?
I haven't written it yet.
Okay.
I've got a couple on the burner. But there's certain songs that evoke different memories, being so close to them, you know, having a major portion with some of these songs. You have a different take on things, and certainly thinking of you always evokes York City to me, and a certain era in our history that was association with Jack Douglas, who was involved with, of course, John Lennon's last thing. I think John Lennon was still alive when that song was written, and it was written at the same time that Jack was doing John's last album. I got to hear John's demo tape. I was the only one. It was a big secret, and I managed to talk Jack into letting me hear it. And so I always get these kind of memories of. I actually did speak to John on the phone once because he called the studio and spoke to him. So that's kind of where I go with it, and it's got those kind of memories for me. Like when I can, if you name a song, I'll have a different memory. Like "Survive," for instance. We were doing our first album. The powers that be said, we don't like any of these songs. We need, some of these songs are not yet doing it for us. We were all over the place, and I said, well, what are you looking for? Something positive message, bouncy up. So, went in the corner and came up with this thing, and then I showed it to Glenn up with Survive. But the best part of Survive was it was the first single, and we were driving through Saskatchewan to a gig, and there's a station called Chab in Saskatchewan, and Moose Jaw, yes. And they said, we got a brand new release from the Prairie Boys. Harlequin's the name of the band. The song's live, and we all pulled over to the side and cracked a few beers and had a few joints because it's legal now. But we got into the proper frame of mind, and when it came on the radio, it's a big thrill to hear you're on the radio. Actually, for the first time, it's quite a thrill. And after a while, you kind of reach for the knob and shut it off.
Yeah. So, I'm a wedding entertainer. I'm a disc jockey. And I've been doing it a long time, but to this day, I still get, can I play I Did It for Love, Innocence. Those are the two big ones I get.
Yeah.
Why are those two so much more powerful out there? I mean, all of them are good. I mean, everything that you've mentioned, I've loved them all, but those two are my biggest requests from Harlequin.
Well, I think they're the ones that got the most airplay. I mean, it's just like who knows why a song becomes popular. It's a good beat,
and you can dance to it.
There's all kinds of reasons why people like songs. And it's ironic because Innocence, for instance, came together at a rehearsal. Glenn started playing, I started singing, and everyone followed along. And it's pretty much it happened. It happened. You know, there was hardly any effort in there. It just sort of came. Other songs you can spend, you know, years on, and they're still the shits.
So do you generally write as a collaboration, or does one person write and then?
There are no rules. There are no rules. You just, you know, sometimes stuff comes, you can have a whole song. Sometimes it comes in, you know, bits and pieces. Gary can say, hey, I've got this idea, you know, and he sends me some stuff, and, you know, I send it back to him. We used to have a saying, you write them, we wreck them, you know.
Yeah. Here's a comment from another disc jockey. Here we have a group of talented guys. Been listening to them for years and even witnessed a lot of their own side projects. Some things are timeless. And then the question is, how many of you are wearing pants?
What you want to see? Okay, on 3, everybody stand up. 1, 2. And the ones sitting down aren't wearing pants.
Well, we know.
Oh my God! We're gonna have to zoom out on that.
I was going to wear green pants in front of the green screen.
She could hear me.
Oh my God.
All right, I like that.
Tell you what he sound like, AJ.
Nice.
You sound like this.
Cooper, it looks like you're trying to put on the invisible cloak from Harry Potter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Weren't you in Talking Heads once? Like, oh, I'm sorry, Floating Heads. There you go.
Floating heads. Dead. Yeah.
So what's the future like for Harlequin? Do you have things planned for post-COVID?
We had a schedule that got deleted last year that we were supposed to revisit. However, that is still up in the air. There's a bunch of festivals and things booked for last year we never got to do. That are you know, who knows still available. But you know, we're at the mercy of the virus, just like everybody else, right?
Of course.
And it's a little more dire in our case because we actually need crowds to make money, and you know, the music's free, as we all know, and nobody wants to pay for music anymore. So pretty soon, change drastically for the you know, selling his catalog. There's a reason for that. Bob Rock too. So all you Bobs out there,
there you go.
Yeah, I heard that today. My wife told me that Bob Rock was selling his catalog. What was that? He's from Winnipeg, and he's actually heard a lot of the songs that he's been involved in because you know, he was involved with a lot of big artists, and sure enough, once you know, I googled it. Oh my goodness! She didn't realize, right?
Yeah.
How prolific he was.
It's a weird time. Again, this show started because my roommate John Youngberg, he's a comedian, he's a keynote speaker, and he does a whole bunch of other stuff. But again, you need an audience to do what he does. I'm a wedding entertainer. I can't. Weddings of 5 people don't need a disc jockey. So basically, we were bored, and we were on Willow's show one day talking about. We have a quarantine karaoke site on Facebook, and we were on there talking about this quarantine karaoke, where people can post their songs that they sing, and the idea came. I was just like, "Hey, why don't we do a show?" And John said, "Okay." Because he doesn't know how to do the technical stuff of it. And so I started building this. And then he's usually my sidekick here. and we work amazingly well together because we have a similar state of mind, which is on the edge of insanity. And yeah, you know, and he's been an interviewer professionally for many years. He worked for, you know, the morning TV show, and so I got to learn a little bit from his expertise, and I really had nothing to show him. But this is episode 11, and Shaw picked us up after 4 episodes. So I edit these down, make them 1 hour, take out John's dirty words, and send it up there. And they show it at 11 o'clock every night and at 2 a.m. every morning.
Really?
Right now they're still only showing episode 1, but it's been a hoot, and I've been getting to some great guests, and I mean, this is one of my highlights. This has got to be my highlight.
This is amazing for me. Like, I was born in the 80s, but I grew up with your music. So this is a huge treat for me. And I remember my mom having your records and like the posters that were up on her walls too. I remember it all. And I remember the 80s very, very vividly.
Hey, look at Derek. He's posing like he's on a record album.
Just remember, no smiling.
Well, what school did your mother go to? Do you know?
Oak Bank.
Because we probably played.
Well, we played Oak Bank.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of high schools.
There aren't many schools that we haven't played. I don't think there's a hockey rink in Western Canada we haven't broken into.
There was a question earlier. Where is CBG?
CBG had other things to do. I think it involved hockey, but he's the home studio and
Here.
Oh, is he in there now?
There he is.
There he is.
Okay.
There's
He's here in a picture. Yeah. No, it'd be nice to have him along. Boy, because agently isn't pulling his weight. Sorry, agent. I take a cheap shot. I know you can't say anything.
I'm trying to talk.
Don't say anything.
Oh God.
Right on. Well, I want to thank you guys all for being a part of the show. I'm hoping we can have you guys on again one day, and AJ will be able to say something.
Yeah. Once he's and he has technology, and I think it'll be.
When he's back in the city.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see live bands play again.
Me too.
Oh man, to see you guys play live again would be amazing.
I want tickets to your first show.
I just live not that far from the Park Theater, so anytime that you guys are in the neighborhood, please let me know.
Okay.
I love the park.
Well, I'm about 2 miles away from there, but I was thinking about today something to go to a Jets game with COVID distancing. You could actually go to the bathroom within reasonable.
Yeah,
and get yourself a beer. Hey,
that's right.
Think about it.
No lineup. And if you guys ever are having a show and you need a disc jockey,
Yeah, a spinner.
There you go.
Okay, we'll call you.
Sign him up.
all right. Well,
We'll
thank
call
you
you
guys
for sure.
very much for being a part of the show.
Well, thanks for having us.
AJ, thank you for trying.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Willow. All the best to you. Mark, right on, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, hey, all the best to John too. I hope. I wish him a speedy. And because you met him in the past. And
hang on a second, John. John, are you there?
Didn't we work with him once, George?
Well,
been a while back.
I used to lot in the mornings.
I'm getting shit now for the shameless plug of myself. Hey?
Yeah. but I did see I worked with him before, and I can't recall.
Yeah,
what the
I guess he's
circumstances
fallen
are.
asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he had cancer removed, and he's doing really well.
Excellent.
Good.
He was in there a little longer than we wanted him to be because they had to repair a hernia as well.
Oh,
And so, yeah, he's
I know
looking
about that
great.
one.
He lost 25 pounds. I wish I could lose 25 pounds.
hey, there's a couple of us here too. Well, all me, anyways. These other guys are all really trim and healthy.
Me and Gary wouldn't mind gaining 25 pounds.
That's right. Look behind you. Okay.
They have good habits, bad habits. They haven't lived long enough yet.
There you go.
This is what I'm supposed to. This is what I ended up looking like. I was once thinner. Hang on, gotta go to the other side. That's right. There you go. That's what I look like now. I used to be thinner.
Go for I like my men chubby.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right. Okay, thank
Thanks
you.
for having me on
Hey,
again.
Willow.
Go.
Hey, boys.
guys.
Love ya.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
They are awesome.
Oh my God.
They are so much fun. So,
That's incredible.
isn't it? Hey, let's look at our studio audience again.
He looks like he's kind of bored, but I don't know if he's bored or he's cold.
Hey, have I ever showed you? Have you seen the turtle yet?
No. Oh my God.
Isn't that the ugliest turtle you've ever seen?
Oh my God. Is that what they look like without the shell?
No, that's just an albino turtle.
Wow.
And when I
All
first
right.
saw it, I was like, what the hell is that? And I loved your shameless plug earlier about your merch. Hang on, here's mine. The perfect cup for your morning happy.
Now, do you actually have one of those cups? Is it a fair size?
It's a good size, yeah.
Okay. I
And
hate
right now,
small cups.
unless I can get some kind of deal somewhere. Right now, they're $25.
Oh, okay.
Just because the fact that by the time I make them and by the time I ship them, it costs me $25.
Okay. Now, what site do you go on for buying your stuff?
I've been getting from Vistaprint.
Okay. Cool. I had to make a Threadless account because the Hanging with Web people have their merch on there. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess one more page to be a part of.
So yeah, what a wonderful show today. We had Marty on. You get great information about buying a home in Winnipeg during these COVID times.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have him on again, which will be great. Apparently John still owes Tim mugs from the Big Breakfast.
Well, I think you're going to have to talk to, what is it now? It's not, I keep wanting to call it
I don't even know if they've got a morning show anymore. I don't think they have a morning show anymore. Now it's like 92 City FM is on there or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the last time I looked anyway. I don't know anymore. Hey, did you see that show? You're the perfect co-host to talk to us about. WandaVision.
I haven't watched it yet. I have yet to download Disney Plus.
Okay, so first episode, I was WTF. What the hell am I watching?
I'm looking forward to it though.
Second episode, well, the first episode was I Love Lucy, and the second episode was Bewitched.
Okay.
Essentially, but it was stupid humor. It was dumb. It was like not worthy of today.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
But then I've never read the comics. I've never looked at that. So, but then I was listening to a conversation amongst people, and they were talking about how Wanda created her own world where she had kids
Yeah.
was still alive, and all these things, and so they're thinking this is based on that, because there's
Yeah.
also something else going on in the background, and you only get glimpses of it or hear glimpses of it, and at the end you see some guy with a TV studio or editing studio, and it looks like he's editing her life or whatever. So, anyways, I'm hoping it gets better. Right now, it sucks, but yeah.
Well, the wow. They definitely took snippets of like it, kind of recreating the world of House of M, the story arc. I'm not sure how far they're going with it, whether or not we're going to see a shift in mutants.
Who knows?
Whether or not they decreate, like have more mutants created after this, or we're going to see.
Marvel's got a lot of things on the go, so we'll have to see what's going on. All right. Well, I think this is a great place to end her. Again, as in every week, I've got a totally different ending and a different credit for this week than last week, with a little bit of snippet of information in the end.
Okay.
Thank you, Willow, for being a part of this.
No problem. I didn't get to see your parents, but hey.
No, my dad
next time.
dad jumped off and my mom never came on. So my mother probably forgot, and my dad probably had to go somewhere.
No worries.
So thank you again.
Not a problem. I'm happy to
Love
be
you
here.
all.